All right, welcome back to Barn Finders. Just kidding. We're actually in Car Mechanic Simulator, but I'm inside of a barn, so it's a bit confusing. So I've been messing around trying to figure out like what do I want to work on. I've been struggling with like not finding the cars I want to find, like in the junkyard. And I even went to like the auction house. I went to the car salon, which is like brand new cars. They had an F350 for $193,000, and so anyway, I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll check out some of the barn finds, and I found this one. And this is not the car I want to actually do. This is just a Bull Rotilla. But I've been trying to find ones with engines that I haven't worked with before, which has actually been really hard. I'm trying to figure out, like, there's a really weird, like, I think it's like a flat 6 or something. It's called the B6. There's a bunch of versions of it, and I want to figure out what car uses it, but I haven't figured it out yet. But anyway, so I came to this barn, and I was walking around, and I found this beauty right here. Can you tell what it is? I hope you can. It's a Ford GT, a GT40 specifically, and I didn't even really realize this was in the game, because I haven't, it's been kind of difficult to find some of like the DLC cars that I have, actually find them in the real world. So we're gonna check this one out, the Ford GT40. The engine is a V8 OHV Windsor Race, which I've never built with before. There's a Windsor and a Windsor Race. I don't know how different they are. It might just be like the carburetors or something. But anyway, we're going to check it out. It's rated at 335 horsepower stock, but we're going to, of course, do what we do and trick it out and make it better. And yeah, so this is going to be sweet. We're going to get it to the garage where we can actually get a good look at it, because I have like no sense of what this thing actually really looks like. So let's buy it for $52,000. I have no idea like who we're paying for this. Maybe I guess the guy who owns the barn, or anyway. So we'll send it to the garage and we will go back to the garage and get to work. Oh, it's white. Wow, it actually looks pretty nice. Like the body's in weirdly good condition. It's white. I wasn't sure if it was like a baby blue or something. Oh, you get a little peek at the engine there. The gigantic like carburetors. There's only 7 of them, so there's something not quite right there. Let's go ahead and get this moved over to good old Lifter A. The best lifter, really. Oh my gosh, the tires are chunksters. Oh my gosh. This is going to be super interesting to work on. I totally like forgot that Ford even had cars in this game. Like when I saw the F350, I was like, oh yeah, there's Fords in this game. I don't remember that. I have basically every DLC except for, I think like the Dodge DLC maybe. Whoa, that was fun. Oh, that looks so cool. It looks like a real race car once you take that stuff off. Yoop. Everything just like explodes out. That's awesome. Okay, we're just gonna strip her down here. Wow, the center mounted brake pump. That's fun. Yeah, I'm super curious to see what's different. This is interesting. Radiator fan housing B, radiator A. Okay, it may just like look super weird mounted there. Hopefully we've got like a decent enough. I guess we could take a look. I've removed a few things. Oh, this one has air trumpets. I was looking at the part catalog and saw air trumpets, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I want it. It sounds great. Now I get to use air trumpets. So, sweet. Let's see. I'm sure this wouldn't have started. I should have probably tried, but I bet it wouldn't have started. Most likely. They usually don't. But we're going to pull it apart. It's got a blue engine block, just a gigantic, bizarre-looking exhaust. All right, well, let's get our tires off. I was kind of hoping maybe there wasn't going to be 5 lugs, but I don't think that's ever the case. So, 5 lugs it is. We've got, I'm assuming disc brakes in the front and rear. I guess we'll see. Looking like a pretty standard setup here so far. All of these are extremely, I mean, most vehicles in this game are pretty standard. There's not a ton of versions and like variations of suspension setups. I've seen a couple that are kind of interesting, especially like in the more like high-end exotics, like the Paganis and whatnot. And I guess like even that Bentley, the Continental, that had like that crazy twin turbo V12 that I tricked out to have like 1,100 horsepower. I was just looking at that too in my parking, because I had to sell a couple cars to be able to afford this venture that we're embarking on right now. So, just looking back at some of the things that I did before was kind of fun. Oh, we have a. Is this what's happening? That's slightly different. Was that slightly different? That kind of maybe not. Maybe not. It just seemed like a little bit different flow to me. Maybe not. These tires are hilarious and absolutely chunkzilla, which I love. I was thinking, I was like, you know what? This is the first time I've played this game and recorded a video of Car Mechanic Simulator since I got my RTX 3090. I was curious to see how it was going to handle. I'm playing 4K ultra textures, and dude, I think there's like some of this game is not super well optimized. Like we're locked at 60 FPS, but I can tell you right now, graphics card is not quiet. Like I can hear it. It is not happy. So if you want to, apparently, if you want to work a RTX 3080. You play Car Mechanic Simulator, which is, you know, it shouldn't be a game that should be this intensive. I'm not sure why this game is difficult to run, but okay, so we gotta go. Okay, we gotta get up in the air to do that. All right. But yeah, I mean, I remember this game being extremely framey sometimes back on my 1070. So wait, I was able. That's funny. It's like telling me you gotta go into the car, and then I'm just like, I'll just click it anyway, and then it just lets me do it. Can I do it here? No. Okay, can't get way over there. Alright, well, I guess we'll put it up in the air. But it pulls apart very quickly. The frame is just like, it's like a go-kart, man. It's super weird though, like the steering rack is just like going through the body and nothing really makes sense. Like how, I'm surprised for a first-party vehicle that they didn't do something a little more realistic. Like the steering components just go through this frame. Like doesn't make a lot of sense. That's something I would expect from a mod, but not so much from like a paid DLC officially put in the game. Disc brakes in the rear as well. That's good. I don't know if the actual like Ford GT is in the game, the newer version, or if it's just the GT40. I really should probably like look up what was all in the DLCs that I got a long time ago, but I'll take it. The GT40 is awesome. I was super surprised because I had been going through a couple barns and wasn't finding much and was feeling a bit discouraged, and then this little guy showed its face. So I'm interested to see what we can do. Actually, can we do any engine swaps? No engine swaps. Okay, so I was also looking at some vehicles to see what I could engine swap into. This one we are gonna have to put the exact same engine back in, which is fine. Wow, the fuel tanks are fun. Okay, or fuel tank, is there not a second? No, there is a second. Wow, and the fuel pump is in the left one. That's cool. That's different. I don't know why I just removed the oil filter. Good thing it didn't have any oil in it. These tires, I think we're going to have to pursue some different tires. I don't know, maybe we just keep the vintage look though, actually. Sometimes I just like to leave it how it was. Plus, it's like kind of difficult to make rim and tire sizes, you know, without, it's a little bit of trial and error. Like you might think it's gonna look good, then you put it in the car and you're like, nope, it looks super bad. Like I was looking at in my parking when I was looking at selling stuff, and I found one like old drag car that I made, and the rear tires were so big they were like clipping into the fenders, and it was like, oh, so bad. And I kind of remember making that video actually, and thinking this is really ridiculous, and I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay, that's the entire suspension. The battery is mounted over here, which is fun. Man, there's a bunch of like really weird stuff, like very weird non-standard things. I like it. Okay, but where was I going? Battery charge. Let's get you in here. Let's get that charged up, and it's gonna be fine. We'll come get that later. I just love that you can charge it, and it's just magically fine. Listen, this thing looks like crazy. It's like a sled. It's not a car, it's a sled. Hey, there's like not much glass, which is cool. What do we have for... whoops. Oh, geez, here I am, I'm in it. Oh, there's a cool GT40 seat, though. That's or steering wheel. The seats they look very uncomfortable. Okay, so we should be good to swap the engine. Actually, I'll probably have to pull the exhaust off. I am kind of excited about the fact that there's gonna... Oh, no, accessible under the car? Really? Okay, we'll play your game. Oh, I might have to actually take the transmission off as well. Yeah, I bet I do. Gearbox B, V8 OHV. We'll get that off. And then I should be good at this point to put the engine on the... Yes, on the engine mount thing. The turner over. Okay, let's get our engine crane. Our hoist, if you will. I feel like that pulled apart really fast. I don't know if I'm... No, don't do that. I've done that too many times. Okay. I don't know if I'm crazy, but it just felt like that actually came out really nicely. Oh, yes. The air trumpets. Give me the air trumpets. So I guess it's just like the things on the carburetors. The air trumpets. This is interesting. Yeah, this will be a little bit interesting. I've never built in this engine. Okay, so car, you're pretty happy. I guess let's go ahead and just weld the frame because we can. I don't know how much work there is to do on it actually. Frame condition 82%. Yeah, let's say it looks pretty good. This won't be quite as satisfying as it is with some of the rust buckets. Yeah, you can see it's slightly shinier. There's less little like flecks of rust, but in general, she was in pretty good shape. Let's just do our interior clean now too while we're kind of in this mode. Let's detail the interior. And let's say goodbye to you. Okay, the interior is detailed, you can tell, because it's marginally shinier. It's pretty shiny, actually. It's kind of freakishly shiny. Okay, so we're good there. We have no parts, so mission accomplished. Okay, let's do something. Let's fix some stuff that we can fix. We're just gonna go through here, fix everything that we can. There's really not gonna be lots of performance parts as far as the suspension goes. Lots more in the engine. I don't think I've broken anything. There are some weird sounds, but so far I'm not hearing any clunks. Don't break those, please. Yay. Okay. I actually think we did all right there. Now, we're going to have, yeah, a lot of things that we still can't fix, so I'm going to work on doing that off camera just because it's really boring. So I'm going to go through and get all of our parts replaced here that I didn't get. Some of the brake pads, you know, some of the things that you can't actually repair, no matter their damage condition. We will do a performance fuel pump. That's one of the few things that we can do a performance version of at this stage. Most of it's going to come in the engine, the transmission, the exhaust, potentially. We'll see if we can find a cool performance exhaust. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back and we can put the suspension back together. So I got everything fixed, ordered, whatever, replaced. Now we just need to get it actually installed on the car. So let's get to it. Maybe, except I'm clicking the wrong things. Here we go. All right, okay, here we go. Let's stick our steering rack in the middle of nowhere. It looks fine in this view, but in reality, it makes no sense. We've got lots of things to put back. Right. There were, can't remember how many bushings. How many bushings did I have to put in here? 16 bushings, I think? 16 bushings to replace all the bushings in the car. Those are not repairable. Had to buy and then assemble the shock absorbers, both front and rear. It says double wishbone shock absorbers in the front and the rear, which is cool. That's a little more performance oriented. Makes sense for this car. I still really wish there were performance brakes in this game. It's kind of sad because performance brakes look cool and there are huge gains to be found in having better brakes. Okay, I'm just going to accidentally zoom across the entire car. Let's zoom back. That was annoying. Get our upper suspension arm in here. Goes back together the way it came apart. And I stuck with the same rim and tire size that this thing came with. I just thought we'd keep it as stock as possible. I did go with slicks, though, for the tires, so they aren't going to look as, like, kind of old school in that way. They'll just have a slick surface, but it'll still look vintage-ish. And I didn't do, like, you know, the white lettering or anything, because that would just be silly. Could have just put, you know, gigantic white walls on it, because there are white walls in the game, which would be kind of funny and also kind of tacky, probably. I suppose we can add it later if we really want to. We don't want to add it later or at all ever. Get our other upper suspension arm. It's so interesting how being in this view where I'm actually putting things together, taking them apart, like this is when I feel like this game puts a bizarrely like large load on the graphics card. Like I can just hear my GPU spinning up and getting hot and angry. Wait. Let me make sure I got the right one, because we do want 265s. 265 by 60, R15 in the front. The rear is 315. So very, very wide, and both of them have a pretty gigantic ratio, which you can see it's just so much. It's a lot of sidewall, but you know, it's an older car, and that's kind of how they ran. There are some benefits, too, to having large sidewalls. Maybe not that large. I don't think that would help your cornering very much. Let me just... sorry, I keep just clicking that. I want to make sure I'm on ones. Good, good. With that little cap over it. That's kind of fun. Okay, so that's the front. Yeah, that's the front. Let's transition to the back, which is really not too complicated. Pretty similar, honestly, in a lot of ways. To the front. Let's see. Wheel bearings. We do not have caps in the rear. Got those. Good, good. Zoom, zoom. Install, install. Double wishbones in the rear as well. Slightly different caps. They also have front springs and rear springs when you make those. You have to know that when you put them together. Nothing too crazy. Non-ventilated discs in the rear. You know, that's also very normal in this game. And tons of cars that have discs front and rear. They're never ventilated in the rear. I've never seen a car that has ventilated discs in the rear in this game, I don't believe. So I don't know how accurate that is. It seems like there would be plenty of cars that would have ventilated discs in the back, but I guess I just really don't know. I haven't paid attention to that. So non-ventilated it is, at least in this game. Calipers. Oh, we should get at least like paint the calipers or something. Like there's like a couple cars in the game that have like special calipers. I think the Bentley maybe does. It has like, what, 2 piston calipers or something? They're pretty cool. But they are barely used. They're really only used in like a couple cars maybe at the most. So it's kind of too bad. Just even being able to paint them would make them look kind of cool. Got our fuel tank C on the right. Fuel tank B on the left, and that's the one that has the actual fuel pump. And I went ahead and got the performance version, the Rosinta Perfetto Party. That's weird. I've never actually really read that. That's kind of strange. All right, we can go grab our battery, I guess, too, while we're at it. Well, I'm thinking about it because I might forget and then try to start the car without a battery, which, you know, wouldn't work. Oh, I also could put the tires on, you know. We could do that, too. Fuel tank. Sure. Let's find the battery. There you are. Boom, boom. We've got power. I'm going to leave that view again because it keeps... yes. What else do you want from me, game? What am I missing to be able to put a tire on? Oh, can I not put tires on yet? Wait, what am I missing? Yeah, oh, I guess I probably can't because the engine is... yeah, the transmission's going to need to be there to actually have the axles mount. So we will wait on the rear tires. Aha! Aha, I knew what I was talking about. Okay, so that's it for suspension stuff. Now, let's move over to the engine, which at least is going to be mostly sort of complete, though I can already see I'm missing rocker arms. I'm missing ignition wires. I'm missing at least one spark plug. We're missing a, you know, maybe a clip for the diffuser, maybe. Diffuser, what am I saying? Distributor. Okay, let's just start going. Let's pull apart the exhaust manifolds here. Hopefully we can find performance versions of that. That is the V8 OHVI exhaust manifold. So we'll see if we can find something cool to... Oh man, this is actually going to be kind of a putsy engine to take apart, I have a feeling. Hopefully we can fix a lot of this. Though there's going to be some we're going to want to replace with performance parts, but we will see. I think, yeah, there'll be a decent amount of stuff that we'll just want to repair as well. So let's see, air trumpets. That's it's just really like a little thing to go over the carburetors, which is kind of interesting. Carburetor 2-barrel side draft. Got 4 of them. Wow, yeah, this is gonna be pokey. My graphics card is screaming. Not really. It's not really screaming. It's just it sounds like it's warm. It sounds slightly mad, which is crazy for this game to be so intensive. Is weird, but it's not CPU intensive, which is exciting because a lot of games are, and that is kind of sad. So this is actually a GPU intensive game, but not CPU intensive. Just sort of refreshing given my situation. All right, let's pull that out. Intake manifold B in the middle here. Interesting. I don't know what the difference between the race version of this engine is and the non-race. Yeah, this is going to be a pokey when I take apart. We've got 3 spark plugs over here. It's always pokey when there are rocker arms. It's just a lot of bolts. A lot of bolts. I'm almost thinking, like, should I don't know. You can jump ahead, I guess, if you want to. I'll make sure to put some timestamps in the description so that you can jump around, because I understand that watching me pull apart this engine and then put it back together might not be exactly what you want to watch. Maybe it is. It might be. For a lot of people, it would be. I don't know. So, yeah, you can jump around if you want to. It's cool. I won't be offended. I also won't know, really. So, you know, you can do it secretly. Okay, so there's all push rods. That's one side. We could do the same thing on the other side. It's gonna be super awesome. It could be worse. It could be way worse, actually. At least this is single overhead cam, right? If it was dual overhead cam, well, we'd have twice as much work to do. So that's cool. Spark plugs, our spark plugs, our spark plugs, our push rod, our push rod, a push rod. Some more rocker arms. At least a lot of this stuff there aren't performance versions, so I can potentially fix some of them. Get, you know, as long as they're in like terrible condition, and then we'll be able to get this thing going again pretty quick. It's the part buying that can be the really slow part sometimes, so we will see. Okay, let's go. And we'll get this other head off. Okay, strip down to that. Let's move to the front side here and deal with some of these pulleys and belts. Water pump pulley. Water pump. V8 OHV. Okay. Crankshaft pulley. Alternator. I6B. Okay, a little bit interesting. Got this special little arm. The arm V8 OHVI. Something like that. Timing cover V8 OHVI. This is going to look much better when it's fixed. It'll be very blue. And again, this is fairly nice because we're dealing with single overhead cams. This is a little bit simpler, which is nice. So it comes apart fairly quickly. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull the old pan off. And then we'll flip her around, unbolt the unbolt the pistons. Actually, I guess we could pull off this stuff too. Clutch release bearing, pressure plate, and then the actual clutch, the friction disc, whatever it calls in this game. Clutch plate, yep, flywheel. Cool, now we've got the crankshaft there. Let's back out. Let's flip the engine. Yep, at least one turn. Hey, it actually went the way I wanted. It's exciting. Does not always happen. We can undo the crankshaft bearing caps to free the crankshaft from the engine block. And then once that's free, I don't even know what the right order is to do this. It feels like maybe you'd want to do the pistons first. The actual rod caps, but I'm not sure. I'm sure there is an order and a reason for that order. And I feel like I might be doing it backwards, but who knows. I don't know if the pistons seem extremely black. We will be able to replace the pistons, of course, with performance versions. The rings are not performance versions. So that's a little bit of bouncing around, but it's not bad. And we're almost there. Now, our pistons can come out. Out you go. Give me your pistons. Hello there. Come on out. And crankshaft. Good to go. And engine block. Okay. Let's see how much stuff we can fix. And then we'll switch to buying the performance parts that we can. And I don't know if there's going to be a ton of performance stuff. Like I would expect carburetors probably, pistons obviously, you know, spark plugs, maybe alternator, a few of those kinds of things, ignition wires and stuff, but not too terribly much. So, okay, yeah, so I mean, we're going to have a lot of stuff to fix. So I'm going to go through now and buy the performance parts I can and fix the other things and get them, you know, repurchased that I can't. And we will go from there and start assembling the engine. So I think we're all ready here to get this engine put back together. Hopefully. Hello? Maybe? Okay, yep, trying to remember how this works. Okay, cool. There's our engine block. Can't do a lot performance-wise with that. We've got our crankshaft. Also, can't do anything performance with that. But now we can start working on performance stuff. So we've got a performance camshaft for the V8 OHV. And then, like I said before, we have all these pistons. And I just realized I forgot to buy piston rings. Awesome. Look at that. Already failing. But I did buy a head. You can see I bought some plates, some license plates. Well, that was... Oh, boy. Piston. Hello. Piston. We'll buy 8 of these. So I already bought license plates, and I also fixed all the body panel part. I got all that, too. So we'll be at least ahead on that. Even if we didn't have piston rings, we should be good now, though. So we can get all these together. Go like this. Go like that. Do one of these. And then we can work on securing things. I think at this point you would honestly probably have already bolted down the crankshaft, which I didn't do. Because it just seems like you want that in there more solidly than it is right now when you're going to put the pistons on. But, you know, it's a game. There aren't as strict of rules as real life. Real life is harsh. So now we got our crankshaft secured, then we can go ahead and just bolt each piston in. So the pistons are actually pretty darn black. I guess I didn't realize they're so like gunmetal. They look nice. Get these secured. Now in real life, of course, these would all have torque specs, but we're just, I guess, magically torquing these perfectly, which is pretty amazing considering how quickly we're able to fasten things. I'm glad I've got that upgrade. I've got basically everything upgraded at this point in the game, so that is nice. Some quality of life upgrades there. We can go ahead and just throw the oil pan on. Might as well. We aren't going to see the bottom of the engine again. Drain plug installs automatically. Let's go ahead and get our flywheel on. This is a performance flywheel and a performance clutch plate. The pressure plate is also performance. And then the throwout bearing, the clutch release bearing, whatever you like to call it. There is no performance version, so that's now on. We can go ahead and turn this engine back. Nope, really thought that was going to be it, but okay. All right, get it back up right. Let's get the front side of the engine happy. Cam gear, we can do our timing chain, connecting our single camshaft and our crankshaft. Timing cover in that beautiful blue. Looking so much nicer than it was before. We are going to lose some of that blue, and you'll see that as we go forward. Ooh, water pump V8 OHV. Now I'm like, wait, is there a performance version? Some of this I'm going to be checking. I think I got a lot of it, but I want to check. Okay, so there is no performance water pump. All right, kind of thought there was, but it must be power steering pump. Okay, so we'll get our water pump installed. Play this game quite a bit, but it's still hard to remember what there are performance versions of and what there aren't. Our water pump pulley specific to the V8 OHVI. That's exciting. And power steering pump V8. I do believe there's a power steering pump. Yep, that's not how you spell. Oh my gosh, no. No. Okay, power steering pump V8. Yes, okay. There is a performance version of that. Hopefully it won't be too horribly much of that going on. Just like the performance version. It's slightly shinier. That's how you can tell. We can get our oil filter on. There is a performance ignition coil, which I've grabbed. You can tell it's performance because it's high power output. I forgot that that's a thing. It's so ridiculous. I love it. A very shiny performance version of the distributor. A performance distribution rotor. A performance distributor cap. The clips are not performance. We will need to buy ignition wires. I didn't do that yet because I didn't know exactly which wires it was going to need, so I waited on that. There's performance fuel filter, and now we can put on our 2 performance heads, which are really going to throw off our blue thing, which is a little bit sad, but I think it will be worth it. And since, really honestly, we're not going to really see this engine that much, we can install our 16 push rods. Well, really 8 on this side. 8 on each side. 16 total. 16 total push rods, 16 total valves, because, you know, the rocker arms, because the rocker arms rock the push rods, which push the valves. It's, you know, it's all working together. Get that bolted on. Yep, we're going to be doing a lot of this, probably for the rest of my life. Just going to be bolting on rocker arms. Definitely would be a torque spec on these, and it would be very important that you get the torque spec right. Yeah, very important. I would be a little bit scared to do this part in real life, sort of. I don't know. Oh, I never got head covers because we didn't have them when the engine came with the car, so I'll have to go back and think about that. There were sadly no performance exhaust manifold. There's an exhaust manifold for the V8 OHVI, but I need exhaust manifold B, and there's no performance version of that, which is too bad because those would have looked nice being all shiny, but that's okay. It is what it is. Okay, switch over to our other head. Bolt that guy down in no particular order, though there would be a bolt pattern definitely to follow when bolting on an engine head. We don't have to do that in this game. It'd be kind of cool. I'm curious to see like where the Car Mechanic Simulator series goes, because this is Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So this game has been out for... It's been out for probably 3 years at least at this point, because it came out, I'm pretty sure, in 2017. So I'm interested to see, like, what are they going to do if... I presume there's going to be another game, I hope. What will they do? Maybe they'll add more detail. Things like having to bolt things in particular order. Maybe they'll actually add, like, fluids besides engine oil. Or maybe they'll do a little more with, like, electrical systems. Because those are big things that are just, like, not present or very much overly simplified in this game. There really is no coolant at all. I mean, there's a radiator, but there's no coolant. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be curious to see where the game goes, I guess. Okay, so we're going to need head cover A and head cover B for the V8 OHVI. We can put our other exhaust manifold on. We're going to need some sort of ignition wires, but I want to check and see exactly which wires. Ignition wires just straight up for the V8. Okay, so we can grab those. Performance version, I'm sure. V8, here we go. And then... oh, heads. Or valve cover. I'm sure that that's not going to be in here, so we'll need to go... valve? I think it was called valve cover. It should be. Nope, it's not. Cover. Fine. V8 OHVI. Cover. There's a lot of them. V8 OHV. We need the V8 OHVI. Please. Possibly. Oh my gosh, there's V8 OHVJ. This is terrible. Okay, well, cover V8 V7 OHVI. Okay, maybe the search is kind of bad, actually. It's not great at filtering down. Oh, of course they're blue. Oh, this is gonna look so silly. Of course they're blue. I should have thought of that. This is gonna look kind of dumb now. This might actually be one of the dumber looking engines because of this, because you've got silver sandwiched between this painted blue. How interesting. Yikes. This is going to be sort of a hodgepodge of very bright blue and not blue. Yikes. But for the performance, let's just throw this intake manifold in here to make it even more complicated. Though that sort of works. That one normally was blue, but now we have the performance version in here. That's super funny. Okay, let's get these wires installed. Boop. Performance wires. Nice. And we are almost done. We are pretty darn close. Actually, let's get our arm on the front. I missed that earlier, which holds our alternator i6B, which we have a performance version of. There's that. We can get our serpentine belt A installed and our serpentine belt B installed. Good. Okay, so the only thing that's left really is the intake side of things. So let's do our 2 barrel carbs. We have performance versions of all of them. They're very shiny. They look like Christmas ornaments, honestly. They're so beautiful. You can hang them from your Christmas tree. Don't you think? It might be a little heavy, but you know, I don't know. That's just what makes me think of like that crazy like candy apple red. It looks like a Christmas ornament. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Curious to see how much power we have when this thing is done. Get our trumpets installed. Wow, the trumpets are actually really shiny. They match super well. I thought they were going to look kind of drab compared to those carburetors, but No. Those are pretty noise. All right. Trumpet, trumpet. Get your trumpets. Here we go. Trumpety, trumpety. I wonder if this thing would let me drive it without the trumpets. It would, probably, I think. It'd be kind of cool if you didn't install them. Like, maybe be, like, really loud, or... I mean, honestly, what would this thing sound like normally? It's not going to sound cool in this game, because this game doesn't have, like, cool sound. Okay. That should be the whole engine. Let's take it off the crane, the mount, the thing, and let's get it put in the engine. In the back of the engine. And get you out of here. Okay, let's get up in the air. We'll get our transmission. What is our transmission? I'm just going to put the same one back in. The gearbox B. I don't really care that much about adjusting everything. But this looks weird. Wait, does it look weird? No? No, it looks okay. Yeah, it looks okay. All right, thought it was setting weird, but it looks fun. Okay, gearbox B, V8 OHV. Ooh, we should have a performance starter? Maybe that we might want to install. We can also get our drive axles installed, which means we can put our wheels on. Our gigantic, ridiculous, super chunky, thick boy wheels. Look at that thing. My goodness. Without the cowls and everything, this thing just looks like a crazy kit car or something. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's get in. I had to just leave the cowls off. No, that wouldn't be fair. This really actually kind of feels more like a mod to me because of how big of a difference the cowls make. It's kind of weird. Starter V8. All right, let's just see. Jump over the performance shot. I think there is one. I feel like. Start. I'm wrong. Okay, never mind. Let's just get a regular old starter put on there. There are no items to work with. Okay, we did not have one. That's fun. I don't know why I thought I had one. I really thought we had one. Start. V8. Thank you. It doesn't really make sense to have a performance starter, so I don't know why I thought that. I just feel like, I don't know, I thought I remembered it being a thing in this game, but it really wouldn't make any sense to have a performance starter. Not really. What's it going to do? All it has to do is start the car. Once it starts the car, the job is done. Okay, let's get her down. We can put on, at least we got to put this part on as a performance exhaust component, which is cool. Because there is a performance rear muffler GT40, which is pretty sweet. So I appreciate that. Okay, how are we looking on the engine side of things? We're looking great. Brakes, servo, I need to get that put back in, the radiator up front, and then I think we're pretty much on interior and body. So let's, oops, do that. Brake, servo, love it. Let's get our radiator in, yep, and the fan housing with both fans installed. And okay, I think that's like all the parts that aren't, oops, that aren't body and aren't, I think I clicked the right thing actually in the end. Everything else should be body and, yeah, exterior and whatnot. Okay, let's move it. Let's not do that. Let's move it. I always click the wrong thing there. Move to the garage entrance. And I ran the wrong way. Let's get the stuff put back on it to make it look beautiful. It looks so crazy. Like, look at this thing. It's like a go-kart. Oh, I should probably put oil in it. Let's put oil in it before I put the clamshell on. That would not have been a great deal. This is a fun oil fill plug. I haven't seen one quite like that. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this is the best part of the whole game, really. Filling up with oil. Very exciting. Just let it overflow. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's put the interior together. Yeah, front seat. Got those. Changed out those. Seriously look so uncomfortable, but we're going with it. Okay, that's that. Let's get the outside put together. Assemble mode. Front clamshell. Kablam. Left headlight. Right headlight. Mirror. Another mirror. Ooh, front right door. Oh, that's cool. It really goes. Oh, yeah, because these open. How do these open? Well, we'll find out in a second. Right door window. Rear clamshell. That gigantic thing. We got our right tail light. We got our left tail light. No, we don't. I just did the wrong thing. That was kind of annoying. It went out of assemble mode and went to disassemble mode, so thank you for that. Right tail light. Let's do our California plate. I got some special GT40 ones. They're, you know, very exclusive. It took me out of assemble mode again. That's super annoying. Okay, trunk window. Left door window, and that should be it, I think. Oh, headlight? No, no, we did that. We've been there. We've been there. Okay, everything. No, global body condition, 93%. What did I miss? Oh, front license plate? Front window. Oh, I thought I did that. Hey, look, front window. Okay, we good? Happy? $142,000 is the value, almost $143,000. So now we could paint it, though I don't hate white. I don't hate white. So let's leave it, and let's dyno it, and let's move it to the dyno. Can you stop doing that? Okay, here we go. To the dyno, to the dyno, to the dyno. How much power do we think it will make? How much power? I'm curious. I'm also curious. I'm curious, but also not excited to hear how it sounds, because it should sound awesome, and it's going to sound super whatever. Okay, so actually, I have to look at that, because it's going to tell me this information right away. Okay, we're going to go to the dyno. Factory, 335 horsepower, 450 newton meters of torque. Let's see how we did changing quite a few components out. I would think we're going to get over 500, which still isn't, like, mind-blowing, but we'll take it. Give it to me. 500. 550. Oh, 588. Big pickup in torque, too. So, okay. Nice. It sounds like nothing, but let's go drive it. All right, here she is. The tires look just as chunky as ever, but actually, yeah. Wow, just barely clear. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see how it drives. It looks good. I mean, that matters. All right. Oh, it kind of sounds cool. Maybe. Wow, it's actually pretty fast. It's so sad. Like, you know what, Karmic? Oh my gosh. The physics in this game are insane. Like, they make no sense. My biggest wish, I think, for Karmic Mechanic Simulator, whatever, 2020, 2021, 2022, I really, really hope that they actually build some sort of cool driving into this, or something. Like, just give me something. Because you work so hard on cars, and then it's like, oh, nothing is satisfying to drive. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how cool of a car you make. Oh geez, that camera was scary. The driving is so sad. Like, those tires being chunky makes no difference in this game, because this game doesn't have, like, real physics. Like, traction doesn't actually really matter at all. Like, how could I peel around that corner so easily with tires that big? Like, it doesn't make sense. And, like, with tires like that, with drag slicks on them, like, I shouldn't be able to peel out from a stop. Not really. Not with 588 horsepower. I don't think so. Oh my gosh. I can't even explain, like, how bad the physics are. It probably just looks like I'm really bad at driving, which I probably am, but, like, and I'm playing on keyboard, but still, like, I've been on controller too. It's terrible. It's terrible in everything. But hey, it's a mechanic game, right? Not a driving simulator. But there it is. The Ford GT40 from barn find to I crashed into a wall, from barn find to beauty, restored beauty. I don't know what you say. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This has been Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, restoring a GT40, which I didn't even know was in the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, you want to see more videos of Car Mechanic Simulator and other games I've been playing, be sure to subscribe. And either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.